News Bulletin from Africa. Potential first major storm of the season. Possible impact on Bermuda and the U.S. East Coast. Good evening, and welcome to our international weather segment. We begin tonight's broadcast with an important update from the Atlantic Ocean. A tropical wave has just formed and is moving westward from the coast of West Africa. The U.S. National Hurricane Center, NHC, is closely monitoring the system, as leading global weather models indicate it could develop into a powerful storm within the next 1 to 2 weeks, with a track potentially bringing direct impacts to Bermuda and indirect threats to the U.S. East Coast. This development is noteworthy because the tropical wave is currently traveling through the main development region, MDR, an area that produces most of the season's major hurricanes. At this time, meteorological conditions, from sea surface temperatures and atmospheric moisture to upper-level wind patterns, are aligning in a way that strongly favors storm formation and rapid intensification. According to initial NHC data, this tropical wave moved off the West African coast within the past 24 hours. Almost immediately after entering the Atlantic, it began developing dense clusters of thunderstorms and a relatively well-defined structure. Initially, the NHC assessed the system's chance of developing into a tropical depression or storm within 7 days at 30%. However, within just a few hours, that probability was raised to 40%, a significant jump that reflects the identification of additional favorable factors for development. Looking deeper into forecast models, the heightened interest from the meteorological community is well justified. The ECMWF Euro model, widely respected for its medium-range accuracy, projects that around August 15 to 16, the system's central pressure could drop to near tropical storm levels. By August 19, if current trends continue, the system could become a strong tropical storm or even a hurricane with a clear structure, powerful winds, and a wide swath of influence. The Euro's projected track has the storm moving toward the North Atlantic, passing near Bermuda, and approaching waters off the U.S. East Coast. The U.S.-operated GFS model offers a similar outlook but with one notable detail. It predicts the central pressure could plunge to around 961 millibars by August 17. Should that scenario materialize, this would indicate a potentially major hurricane, Category 3 or higher on the Saffir-Simpson scale. The GFS track shows the storm remaining mostly over open water before turning northward, affecting Bermuda and shipping lanes in the North Atlantic. Another model, Euro AI, agrees with the potential for significant intensification but introduces a less likely yet concerning possibility. If steering factors change, the storm could head toward the Carolina coastline or even enter the Gulf of Mexico. While the current probability is low, this scenario cannot be completely ruled out. Ensemble model outputs, which compile multiple forecast simulations from the same starting data, reveal a wide spread in possible positions and timing for the storm's northward turn. Some tracks have the storm recurving earlier and avoiding land entirely, while others bring it closer to the U.S. East Coast. Such spread is common in the early stages of system formation. But all scenarios share one consensus: the likelihood of this system strengthening into a hurricane is high. To understand why forecasters are so confident in this system's potential, we must examine the current environmental conditions. First, moisture levels surrounding the wave are high, especially in the mid and lower level atmosphere, a key factor for sustaining convection and feeding energy to the storm. Second, upper level wind shear is weak, under 10 to 15 knots, allowing the system to develop symmetrical convection. Third, upper-level outflow is strong, efficiently venting air away from the center and supporting intensification. Finally, sea surface temperatures in the area range from 29 degrees Celsius to 31 degrees Celsius, mid-80s to near 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Ideal for the rapid strengthening of major tropical cyclones. Steering currents also play a critical role in determining a storm's path. In the early stage, while the system is still weak, the subtropical high over the North Atlantic will guide it westward. But once it strengthens, especially to hurricane status, it may find a break in the high-pressure ridge and turn northward. This is why most models show a recurving track that avoids a direct U.S. East Coast landfall. However, history has shown that even minor changes in the position or strength of the high can significantly alter a storm's trajectory. So risk remains. To place this in context, we can recall several historic storms that formed in the MDR and took similar paths. Hurricane Florence in 2018 originated off Africa, was initially forecast to recurve harmlessly, but later turned toward North Carolina, causing record rainfall and catastrophic flooding. Hurricane Irma in 2017 also began in the MDR and became one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes ever recorded, devastating the Caribbean before making landfall in Florida. These precedents remind us that while the current forecast appears less threatening, uncertainty always exists. Experts from both the NHC and NOAA advise residents, particularly in Bermuda, along the U.S. East Coast, and in the Caribbean, to closely monitor official updates. Even without a direct landfall, large swells, strong offshore winds, and prolonged heavy rain could disrupt shipping, tourism, fishing operations, and offshore energy production. From an economic and social standpoint, shipping and airline companies are already tracking the projected storm path to adjust schedules. Bermuda and Caribbean tourism operators are weighing contingency plans, while offshore energy firms may need to prepare for possible evacuation of personnel from oil and gas platforms if the storm nears. Meanwhile, short-term weather conditions in the United States continue to pose challenges. The Midwest and southern states face risks of severe thunderstorms, heavy rainfall, and isolated tornadoes that could cause localized flooding in low-lying areas. The Southeast will see scattered showers and storms, while the Northeast enjoys pleasant conditions with warm sunshine and moderate humidity, ideal for outdoor activities. In the West, dry heat is intensifying, particularly toward the southwest, elevating the risk of wildfires. In closing, while the current forecast track suggests a high likelihood of recurvature to the north, the lessons of past hurricane seasons remind us that no scenario can be ruled out entirely at this stage. Those living in weather-sensitive regions and industries should stay informed through trusted sources such as the NHC, NOAA, or National Weather Services, and have contingency plans in place should conditions worsen. We will continue to track this system closely and bring you the latest updates on its development, as well as other significant weather events worldwide, in our upcoming broadcasts.